Dragon's not in today. No, I don't have Dragon in today.
Good.
Hey, Mark, can you tilt your camera up a bit?
Tilt
Or-
it up.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're standing up, it cuts off your head. Right, a little bit more. A
But
little
then
bit more.
my feet though.
Perfect. Yeah, there we go.
But this one I don't go ever over my head though.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Saturday class that it's like that I think I need to push back a little bit further on my mat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I line mine up so that the edge of the camera is right on the edge of the mat. So just as we come all the way down, you can just see us. But then when we stand up, my top of the head touches the frame.
Yeah.
The one you can see is both. The other one is just my phone that's sitting here to give me something to look at, my own little screen in front of my own mat.
Yeah. But it's both. It's different because I use Zoom and I use this. So Zoom is different. So I have to always
I'll retweak it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's start in Shavasana for tonight's class. So let's start laying down on our backs.
Yes.
Let's take a deep inhale through our nose. And exhale it all out. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And exhale it all out. And with every inhale and exhale, allowing your body to begin to settle. Allowing your mind to begin to rest. And taking this opportunity to let the day slow down. And taking time to check within this evening and notice how your body's feeling. Notice how you're feeling. Taking a few moments to scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. And notice if you're carrying any tension anywhere. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath ease anything that might be tense. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Notice if anything may be a little bit sore or a little bit stiff or maybe tight. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath soften anything that might be tight or stiff. Bringing relief to anything that might be sore. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. letting them continue to float by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Take a few moments to set an intention for the class this evening. Something you wish to receive from your practice. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw both knees into your chest, giving them a gentle squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then opening your arms up into a T and letting your knees gently fall to the right side, coming into a twist. Keeping that left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Maybe sliding a pillow under those knees for a little bit of support or a block. Adjusting the knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften that knee bend. Breathing into any sensation that you might be feeling. Letting your breath soften those areas. Take a few more breaths here. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to draw those knees back up to center. Then gently letting the knees fall to the left side. Keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Adjusting those knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften that knee bend. Maybe you slide a block underneath your knees for a little bit of support. And taking note on how this side feels different than the other side. Breathing into any sensation that you might be feeling. Letting your breath soften those areas. Take a couple more breaths here. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to draw those knees back up to center. Opening up into happy baby, grabbing the outside of those feet, opening the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Then draw those knees back into your chest and let the knees sway from the left to the right. Gently letting your knees fall to the left side or to the right side, coming into fetal position for a couple breaths. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Take another deep inhale and another deep exhale. Slowly begin to press your way up and making your way to tabletop position. We'll start our practice in puppy pose. So keeping those knees and hips in alignment. And from here, you'll walk your hands out. So you can lower down on the elbows if it's a little bit too intense on the shoulders. But trying to draw that chin to the mat. Or maybe you allow the forehead to rest. But allowing those shoulders to soften. Breathing into the upper traps. And the option to bend the elbows or open them a little bit wider if it's a little bit too intense on those shoulders. Keeping your breath nice and even, nice and deep. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk those fingertips out a little bit further, challenging that edge. Maybe feeling a little bit more heat in those shoulders. Allowing your breath to soften those sensations. And taking note if maybe your mind has wandered or drifted, just drawing it back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, do you think you can walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Or maybe you've reached your maximum and you just continue to hold where you're at. Breathing into those shoulders, a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to release out, walking those hands up nice and gently. Then opening those knees as wide as the mat and coming into child's pose. So draw the big toes together, send those hips back. As you allow your shoulders to soften, allowing your forehead to rest on the mat. And if your forehead can't rest on the mat, maybe you slide a block or a pillow. Trying to remove tension from your neck. Breathing into those hips. Can you allow your shoulders to soften a little bit more? Take one more inhale here. Exhale it all out. Then slowly come back to tabletop position. Drawing your knees underneath your hips. And then slowly walking out, making our way into Sphinx posture. So lowering all the way down onto your belly. Drawing those elbows underneath your shoulders, releasing your toes. And if this is always a little bit too intense, you can always slide those elbows forward to soften the curve of your spine. Notice if you're carrying any tension in your legs. Allowing those shoulders to soften. And breathing into any sensation that you might be feeling. Allowing your breath to soften those areas. Take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, draw your chin to your chest, so stretching out the back of the neck. Take a couple more breaths here. Maybe you draw your chin in a little bit deeper to your chest. On the next inhale, slowly begin to draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Stretching out the left side of that neck. Take a few more breaths here. Maybe you draw your ear a little bit closer to that shoulder. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to draw back to center. And then drawing that left ear to your left shoulder, stretching out the right side of that neck. We'll take a few more breaths here. Maybe you draw your ear a little bit closer to that left shoulder. On the next inhale, begin to draw your chin back to center. And then gently raising it back up. Take a deep inhale here. And a deep exhale. And the option is to stay in Sphinx pose, or maybe you come to seal, so you turn your hands up to the edge of the mat, pressing into the palms of the hands, straighten those elbows. Trying to draw the shoulders down and away from your ears. And maybe today you feel a little bit more mobile, so you walk your hands a little bit closer to your body. Opening up this pose a little bit more. Keep drawing the shoulders down and away from your ears. Keeping your breath nice and deep. Few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Very nice. Slowly lower all the way down. Drawing the hands together. And then letting the forehead rest on the top of the hands. Allowing your spine to settle. Your shoulders to soften. Letting your body find rest. Notice how your spine feels as it begins to relax. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Gently press up to tabletop. And then pushing back to child's pose. So rounding your spine. Bending those elbows. Tucking your chin into your chest. And the option to stay on the elbows, or maybe you take your hands to your feet. And if your forehead or the top of your head doesn't rest on the mat, always feel free to slide a block underneath. Very nice. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to come back to tabletop position. We're going to set up for deer pose. So coming into downward facing dog. So planting the hands, curling the toes, send our knees up. And then our hips back. Take a few moments to pedal out the feet. So bending one knee, taking the time to press your heel into the mat. Then switching to the other side. Then coming back to your down dog. Floating that right leg high to the sky. Then bringing your right knee to your right wrist. and your right ankle to your left. Release those left toes, and then lower down onto that right sit bone. And from here, you can bend that left leg, so you can have it a 45-degree. You can bend it a little bit more, or hold it a little bit more straight, or whatever feels comfortable. But on the inhale, turning your chest forward, so squaring your chest to the front of the mat. And then exhale, walk your hands out. Maybe you come onto your forearms to start. And you can always adjust the angle of that right leg too. You can maybe bring it to more of a 90-degree angle to feel a little bit more of a stretch, or maybe you keep it at a 45-degree. Maybe you walk your hands out a little bit further and allow that chest to draw closer to the mat, to your right leg. And if your forehead doesn't rest on the mat, again, maybe you slide a block underneath to just remove tension from that neck. And taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to the sensations that you might be feeling. Sending your breath to those areas. Letting your breath soften any sensation. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Keeping your breath nice and deep. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Very nice, and slowly begin to walk those hands up. Taking a moment here. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Then on the next inhale, begin to walk over to the right. So coming into twisted deer. And so maybe you stay at a 45-degree angle, or today maybe you feel a little bit more mobile and you can turn a little bit more to the right. But take an inhale here. And then exhale, maybe you begin to walk those hands out, coming onto your forearms. And taking note how this side notice how the sensations change as you twist. Where do they heighten? Breathing into those areas. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, do you think you can walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging your edge? Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Take a moment here, take an inhale and an exhale. Then from here, slowly begin to bring the legs forward and we'll come into Shavasana to a nice rebound pose. So laying down on our backs. Allowing your palms to face up. And allowing that right hip to relax, that right leg. Maybe a little bit in that left quad, the front of that left leg. Letting your body find rest. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Then slowly draw those knees into your chest, giving them a gentle squeeze. Then gently rocking to the left and to the right, gently letting your knees fall to the left side or to the right side. And then from here, begin to press your way up, making your way back to tabletop position. Taking your time, moving nice and slow. Then planting those hands, curling those toes, send our hips back to downward facing dog. So press our knees up and then our hips back. Take a moment to pedal out the feet. So bend one knee, straighten the other. Repeating that on the other side. And coming back to your regular down dog, floating that left leg. And then drawing that left knee to your left wrist and your left ankle to your right. Release your right toes. Then lower down onto that left hip. Bend that right knee. And then again, you can play with the angle. On the next inhale, square those shoulders. And then exhale, begin to walk your hands down. Maybe you come onto your forearms. And always feel free that you can adjust the left leg so you bring it to 90 degrees or you keep it where it's at. And notice how this side feels different than the other. Do you feel it in the same places or do you feel it in a little bit different places? If you're feeling a little bit more mobile tonight, maybe you walk your hands out and allow that chest to draw closer to your leg. Maybe you slide a block underneath your forehead to remove tension from your neck. Keeping nice deep breaths. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, maybe walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging that edge. On the next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands up. Taking a moment here to take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Then on the next inhale, begin to walk the hands over to the left. And again, maybe you're at a 45-degree angle, or maybe you walk a little bit further. But take an inhale here, and exhale, begin to lower down onto the forearms. And taking a few moments here to notice if the sensations have changed. Breathing into those areas, letting your breath soften any sensation that you might be feeling. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging that edge. Keeping your breath nice and deep. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands up. Very nice. Take a full inhale and a full exhale. Then slowly begin to draw the legs forward, coming back to Shavasana and lowering all the way down onto our backs. Allowing our palms to face up. And notice how this side feels, how your left side feels as it begins to release. Letting your body find rest. Take one more inhale here. One more exhale. And then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees into your chest. Gently letting your knees sway from the left to the right. And so if you dropped your knees to the left side, drop your knees to the opposite side. And then slowly begin to press your way up. And making your way to a seated position. So we're going to come into half butterfly. So you're going to take that. You can start in full butterfly to feel comfortable. And then you just straighten that right leg out on an angle. And you could always draw that left heel in closer to your glutes, or you can draw it away. But inhale, reach your hands up. Then exhale, reach and fold. Trying to keep both sit bones on the mats. Allowing your shoulders to soften. Can you remove tension from your neck? Pointing those right toes or trying to remove tension in that right foot. Trying to soften that right knee. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Making sure that both sit bones are on the mats. And notice how you challenged your edge. Did you maybe that right kneecap locked, or maybe tension in that right foot? Breathing into any sensation. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Bringing the soles of the feet onto the mats. And then gently windshield wipering them to the right. Windshield wipering them to the left. Then coming back to full butterfly just to set up for the other side. And then straightening that left leg on an angle of 45-degree. And you can always draw that right foot in or draw the right foot out. Staying on both sit bones. Take an inhale, reach your hands up. Then exhale, reach and fold. Allowing your shoulders to soften. Breathing into that low spine. Softening that left leg. Removing tension from your neck. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further? Challenging your edge. Softening that left leg. Softening your shoulders. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Very nice, and slowly begin to walk those hands up. Planting your feet. And then gently lowering your knees down to one side. Windshield wipering them to the other side. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. So we're not doing dragon today, but we are doing frog pose. So we haven't done frog in a while. So turning your mat up, getting a little bit more cushion for the knees. Then opening those knees as wide as you can. Keeping your heels in alignment with your knees. Keeping your feet flexed. Take a moment here to pause. And then exhale, walking onto your forearms. And then take a breath in here. And exhale, maybe you gently send those hips back. Breathing into those hips. Trying to find rest and a little bit of discomfort. On the next inhale, slowly begin to release, so draw forward. Very nice. Then exhale, slowly begin to send those hips back. Keep breathing into those hips. And notice where your mind's at. Has your mind wandered? Has your breath shallowed? So just trying to keep the breath nice and deep. And take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale, very nice. Then slowly begin to rock forward. Then gently coming back onto your hands. Then gently walking those knees in nice and slow, taking your time. Then from here, just push back to child's pose, so let your hips rest on your feet. You can bend your elbows. Take a few breaths here. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to walk those hands up. Kick your feet to one side or another, and make sure that you have your block or your cushion handy. We're going to come into supported bridge, so have the soles of your feet onto the mats. Draw your heels as close to your glutes as possible. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And then on the next inhale, send those hips up as you slide that block underneath your tailbone, or maybe a little bit higher up your spine. And when you find that sweet spot, let those hips settle into the block or your cushion. Allow your palms to face up. Allow your eyes to close. Your breath to soften. And always feel free to adjust the block. Can you soften those shoulders? Soften your neck. Take a few more breaths here. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly draw those hips up, sliding that block out from underneath. Then slowly letting those hips lower down onto the mats. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Then slowly draw those knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circle those knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then opening up to happy baby, grab the outside of those feet, open the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Take a deep inhale together. And exhale, open up to Shavasana. Legs as wide as the mats. Palms to face up. Letting your body melt into the mats. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. Breathing into your toes. Into your feet. Breathing into your ankles. Allowing any tension to dissolve. Breathing into your shins. Into your calves. Breathing into your knees, allowing them to soften. Breathing into your quadriceps and to your hamstrings. Breathing into your hips. Allowing any tension to dissolve. Letting your hips sink into the mat a little bit more. Breathing into your low spine, into your abdomen. Breathing into your mid-spine, to your upper spine. Breathing into your shoulders, allowing any tension to dissolve. Breathing into your biceps, into your triceps. Breathing into your elbows. Breathing into your forearms. Breathing into your wrists. Into the palms of your hands, all the way to the fingertips. Breathing into your neck. Allowing your neck to soften. Breathing into your forehead. Allowing any tension to dissolve. Breathing into your jaw. To your cheeks. To your eyes. Letting your body fully surrender to this posture. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. Then slowly reaching those arms up and overhead. And then grabbing one wrist and gently pulling it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in that side body. Then release that wrist, grab the other wrist, and gently pull it to the opposite side. Then releasing that wrist, reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. Take a full body stretch on that next inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Then slowly draw that right knee into your chest, giving it a big hug, showing it some love. Gently adding a little bit of movement back. Then release your right leg, draw in that left knee. Giving it a nice big hug, showing it some love. Gently adding a little bit of movement back. Then draw that right knee back into your chest, give them both a big squeeze. Gently rock a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards, giving your spine a little bit of a massage. Circle your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then let your knees sway from the left to the right. Gently letting your knees fall to the right side or to the left side, coming into fetal position. Offering a few breaths of gratitude. Grateful that you showed up on your mat this evening. That you took time to connect with your breath and your body. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. And then slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands to heart center when you arrive. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. On the next inhale, draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did today. I thank you and I'm humbled by your practice. Namaste. Great job, everybody.
Excellent.
Sorry for my cat and his little toy. He never plays with that toy. And then all of a sudden during the class, he wanted to play with his mouse that made noise. So that's why I got up and put it away. Because it would have been like, yeah.
Didn't hear a thing.
Oh, really? Oh, good. Great job, though. How was that? You guys held, so, puppy pose was 4.5 minutes that you guys held it.
Yeah.
Sphinx pose,
Love
Sphinx was 4.5.
Wow.
Deer pose was 5 minutes each side. Like what added twist. Half butterfly was two minutes each side. Frog was 4.
I don't like frog.
Getting better, Frog.
The frog
Yeah.
is good.
It's hard.
It's a lot better.
Do you ever feel that in the hips? Wow, that was
Yeah.
really good. You're right. We hadn't done it in a while, and I appreciated the workout on that one.
Yeah, you can feel it right in your hips.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And it felt good though. But when you come out of it and you're like, ow.
Yes.
So that's why you have to go slow, like really,
Yeah.
really, really slow. Yeah.
And then it's better when you're going, when you sit forward like this, you rock your body like that. That I felt that it's really nice.
Yeah.
On your hips. So
Yeah. Nice and slow, just moving with your breath is good. Yeah.
yeah.
I I will say that I think in a former life I was a deer.
Ah.
Because that actually, like, I could fall asleep in that position.
Oh, wow.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Like, is that weird? I must be doing something wrong.
You and Amin.
Is
Amin-
that right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
Amin can just lay there.
yeah. Oh, I just love that position.
I
And
can't
I
get
kept
close
telling
to
him,
the
show off.
ground.
I think it's because of when he prays.
Oh,
Yeah.
That all the ways. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's a good point. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why he can do the whole thing, you know.
Oh,
But
that's
I'm
a
like,
good-
oh.
yeah.
But anyway, I let you guys go. I gotta eat now.
Yes. Have a great evening. Thank you guys.
Bye,
I'll see you on
guys.
Saturday.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Good to see you
you.
guys. See you Saturday.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Yes, now.
And you're right about the camera, Mark.